like this guy. Let's go to Southeast Wisco. Chris. What's going on, Chris? How are you?
I'm good, Jim. How about yourself, dude?
Great, dude. Great.
Hey, man, I just wanted to touch on something real quick as the pro football season is right around the corner. Admittedly, the NFL preseason has never been must-watch sports TV. But what is increasingly becoming a terrible look for dictator Goodell and company is the blizzard of video footage displaying all these disgusting corn-fed jackwagons throwing hands in the bleachers in the middle of every single game. It disgusts me, Jim. You have a mixture of beer, stadium junk food, and condiments getting sprayed all over the crowd as these bags proceed to engage in full-blown fisters, ripping off each other's fan guide jerseys, leading to the horrifying sight of gigantic, disgusting beer guts bouncing around, risking the safety of some poor family sitting nearby. Then in the aftermath, these tomato red-faced drunken slobs are grasping for air like they're on the verge of having a grabber. I wonder, was it worth it to these asshats as security guards usher them out of the stadium with a trip to jail and a $700 fine as parting gifts? I say ban these bastards for life. Most of us just want to watch football, Jim. Or Tom D, always coming straight to work in the clothes he wore to the club last night. That's a badass look, man. And unwar townies in northern Wisco that believe only they belong in God's country because of ownership of some crappy, dilapidated shack that has been in their family for 20 generations. They don't own our great Badger State. Everybody is welcome in Wisco, Jim, which includes Eagle River. You already know, brother, but for the rest, in case they haven't heard, it's a dynasty, clones.
Go ahead and rack him. All right, so he's got plenty of that, including that last part where he said, unwar those bags who own some tiny cabin that's been in their family for several generations, who will not welcome anybody else into this great state of ours. There is a little bit of that. There is a little bit of that. I do get a little bit of that. Again, when I spend my time in northern Wisconsin in the summer, and I spent a month there, most people, 98, 99% of the people there say, hey, how you doing, Rome? How you doing? Do you like it? Do you still like it? Are you having fun? And my response is always, yeah, I like that. It's like the best place ever. I love this place. But there is that 1 or 2%. And of that 1 or 2%, 50% of that 1 or 2% will come right up to me and say it to my face, yo, man, you need to dial it down. You've got to stop posting about how great this place is because then everybody will come and wreck it. And then the other 50% of those who say that won't say it to my face, but they just keep kind of stabbing me in the back. And it works its way back to me because the town is like this big. Either way, it's all good. I love the place. And, you know, I've done both. I continue to hype the merit of the place, and I have dialed it back some. However, the one thing I did not dial back was, and I did say, listen to me, look at me. That little Instagram account that I have, nobody is seeing that, nor seeing the video, nor the pics, and thinking to themselves, you know what? You know where I should go? Northern Wisconsin. That's where I'm going to go. And I said that unequivocally. I can tell you, I promise you, nobody's coming. Here's the truth. I have a few prominent friends that have hit me up and said, yo, I need to see that place. I think I'd like to come out there. So you know what?
Yo.
Northern Wisco bag with the tiny cabin in the family for 800 years? You might be right. I might be bringing my type, my element to your town. And then he went into the trend of fans brawling in the stands at preseason games. This is nothing new. This is not a preseason thing. It's a preseason thing. It's a regular season thing. It's a postseason thing. It's a liquor thing. It's a miserable life thing. It's a they're wearing enemy colors is a reason to go thing. And it's a thing that happens that people will always get because everybody has a phone and it will make it to the internet in about 1 second flat. It's a thing. It's always going to be a thing. As long as there are rivalries and liquor and miserable people, there will be an exchange of the hands. But yeah, if you are Roger Goodell, you can't be happy to see that, obviously. Obviously. I mean, if you see enough of that, won't you at one point say to yourself, you know what? Let me think. Let me weigh this out for a minute. I could spend, I don't know, a few hundred, several $100s, and I can go to the stadium. And I can pay an exorbitant amount of money to get into the gate and to park and to get concessions and to get food and to get beer and then to get merch. And then I can get my lights turned out. And then I can end the night in jail or maimed or dead. Or I could stay at home in my perfectly controlled climate with my own beer in my own refrigerator, no waiting for the bathroom, on my beautiful flat screen that's like 8D. And I can flip around. And I can get up and walk around without fear of somebody turning my lights out, or me ending up in jail, or me defending the honor of my lady, or my lady starting a fight that got my lights turned out. Yeah, which one's better? Yeah, Rome, but you know there's nothing like doing it or being there in attendance. Yeah, I know. However, it is more expensive, and you do run the risk of maybe getting knocked out. I'm not saying it's a high percentage, but I'm saying you don't have to look that hard to see these fights. They show up every week online, don't they? I don't know. Somebody might make the argument that, hey, Rome, what do you think, man? If you go to a game anywhere in enemy colors, you're asking for it. I would argue, no, you're not. No, you're not. As long as you're there to cheer your team and you stay in your lane, if you want to talk some junk, you should be able to put on the enemy gear without fear of somebody knocking your nose through the back of your brain. As long as you stay in your lane.